ladies and gentlemen, Ashveil for version 4. This is the damage output. 100k into 4, into half a mil, into more damage, into more follow-up attacks, into his own follow-up attacks, into an ultimate. It is one of the most like high tempo teams I've ever played. I mean, and we just did 1 million damage there. Holy moly. Hello internet, and today we've got Ashveil. He got me turned into a lady in love. I'll be very honest, Ashveil being the hunt path character, he's not exactly like the most sought after character right now, right? We got the whole elation gang going on, but hey, just like Pokemon, every character is someone's favorite in this game too. So if you're a fan of Ashveil, well, welcome to a showcase of Ashveil. First of all, everything's here from the Creator server, and continuing on, let's just take a quick look at all of the text. You can pause if you want to check out the text in detail, but yeah, overall, I will say he's probably one of the most simple characters ever. Doesn't mean he's terrible though, it just means he's simple, right? Here is the Lightcone, and it's pretty standard as well. There's no like overly unique things going on here, like, you know, with some Lightcones be able to increase the limit of your skill points, nothing like that. Here we got the relics though, and the most important part, we have the new ones, right? The City of Converging Stars. This one's really good for Ashveil to just give some supportive capabilities as well for the team. But I will say, if you want to like go for more damage output for himself, something like a Duran set right here would probably work out too. Yep, here are all of the main stats. It's pretty standard, you know, just crit damage dealer type of main stats, and here are the Eidolons. I will say that E2 is going to make him really good, but overall though, you don't have to like go for it if you don't want to. And while that's set up, here's the stat. I am running a speed boot now, but he can totally be ran as an attack boot user because he does gain a lot of energy by his team, which the team would look something like this. Every single one of this team has a lot of follow attacks. They attack a bunch, and every time they attack the bait, Ashveil will get 8 energy. That's why you can consider just use attack boot, get energy with your allies that attack a bunch, and then Ashveil will still get his ult without even taking any turns, but he'll do a lot of damage with the attack boots, right? Now, what is even more interesting here is if I remove this team, you'll also notice, hold on a minute, why is Ashveil used with Cyrene? Yeah, that actually works out too, because the most important part is actually Iodanheng and Tribe. Those two attack so many times that it will allow Ashveil to activate itself, and Cyrene being there is just good for both Danheng and Tribe. But we'll try this for now though, which should be his main use case. You want to use him in a follow-up attack setup. Now then, let's attack this guy just real quick before we actually go in. Listen, pulling for characters can be a train wreck like this one, which is why I'd like to introduce a website named Aniba. Aniba offers top-up services that I personally use in order to get the best top-up deals at a discount for the same top-ups that I already planned to purchase. You know I only use the trusted sources, which is perfect since Aniba complies with Hoyoverse's top-up service guidelines, and that's the biggest doubt removed. So to get a new big prize in Yaoguang here with Aniba, click my link in the description, purchase the bundle you'd like, which actually has localized prices based on your location, enter yours or maybe even a friend's server and user ID, complete the purchase, and voila, your resources are in game, no fussy login required, zero hassle involved. You even get a 10% cashback for your purchases that you can claim in your Aniba wallet for your next purchase, so it's just more money saved. If you're already planning on spending anyway, Aniba is honestly a good deal, and why not give it a look-see? The curse of buy, look, get yourself those glorious V4 characters instead, how about that? And this actually helps you very much to afford food on the table, and I appreciate your support. Now then, back to the video. So to come in first of all is with his technique, right? All the technique really does mainly what you want to do. First of all of these attacks, I'm not even gonna like mention what's happening on screen because there's just too much. Let's break it down one by one. First of all, the technique, right? Ashveil starts with 2 follow-up attack charges with these 2 dots here. The technique gives him the 3rd one, that's first of all. Second of all, his talent just allows one of the enemy to be the bait. You don't even have to use his skill yet. Right now, this icon on top of the enemy's head, that's the bait. It will automatically be inflicted on enemies with the lowest HP, so usually it's gonna be mobs first, but that's why Ashveil is actually good, or at least designed to have contingencies against like AoE situations. He will target small mobs first and then get to the big ones, or you can simply use the ultimate here that also marks a designated enemy as bait. That's what you actually want to mainly utilize. Get his ult as quick as possible and then swap the bait over to like the elites, right? Now to take a look at what the bait does. Right now this enemy is the bait, and you'll see Flock Smite Evil where the defense is reduced by 40% on everybody. You got Flock Smite Evil right here, you got Flock Smite Evil on this character as well. 40% defense reduction combined with Facel's ultimate right here. You just get a lot. If you get max stacks, you get like nearly 100. That is ridiculous. If you attack a bait, all Ashveil's gonna do is gonna consume one of his charges, the fall attack charges, and attack the bait as well with that damage there. And the damage output, I mean, it's nothing bad, right? And now during Ashveil's turn, what you really want to do is you want to attack the bait with the skill, because if you do that, you would get a skill point back, or you could choose to swap the bait over to to someone else. But if you swap it, you will be consuming the skill point without getting any back. So ideally, you just want to attack the one with the bait and then eventually get an ultimate, right? With the ultimate, you switch your bait. Focusing back to the follow attack right now, let's check out the damage now, right? We basically already explained most of the gist of his like ability. We'll actually slow down here a little bit. We're gonna go with Face Xiao's skill here. It's gonna trigger twice, but because we ran out of follow attacks, we can only do it one time, and the damage output here is 73,000. That is without Triby's ult yet, and now we have access to his ultimate. This is actually going to be his main way of dealing damage. You see, right now I've got 7 stacks of gluttony. You can get every extra stack of gluttony by using your follow attack based on his talent, right? And that's triggered by, you know, your allies attacking a bait. So now I got 7 gluttony. What happens with the ult is that for every 4 stacks of gluttony consumed, it will additionally deal an instance of lightning damage. That means the more gluttony I have, the more damage I'm going to do with the extra enhanced follow attack right after like this hit right here. I'm just gonna do it just so you can say I'm gonna do the ultimate right here and ban that 62k into the enhanced hit of 230k. And do notice this, right? We're gonna chain into a follow attack right back into Ashveil's own follow attack. But not to mention with the ult, you've regenerated all 3 stacks of his follow attacks, and that's like the entirety of the gameplay, right? Like all you want to do is to get his ult as often as you can and then use his follow attacks as often as you can. Get the gluttony stacks, maximize his ult damage, and look at that chain of follow attacks right there. That's ridiculous. And that's the gist of everything. You're gonna get so many stacks of Aureus for Face Xiao. I'm already maxed out here, which is a waste, but well, better late than never. I'm gonna spend them right now. I'm hoping this just murders the boss, but I'm not sure if that's gonna happen. I'm gonna use it one more time, perhaps. Is it a waste though? Well, I already used it, so whatever. We're gonna kill this guy right here with this ult for sure, but I think as I do this, I should still get enough for another Aureus stack because of the amount of follow attacks we have. Are you kidding me? Both of you 1% health. Oh my gosh, that's annoying. All right, now it's a good time to focus on the energy. If I attack the bait target, we're gonna get 8 energy right here. If you notice, yeah, we get a little bit of an increase there, and it's gonna continually happen, right? We killed an enemy with the bait will automatically swap to the character with the least HP on the enemy side. So we kill him with this hit, we gain energy again, and now the bait is on the final elite here. And that's how you manipulate the bait. You really just kind of need it to be on like one elite, and then it'll just bounce off like the lowest HP, kill all of them, and that's how you get the most out of Ashveil, right? You would notice how healthy the skill points usage is. We have 5 right now. We're gonna use 1 on the bait. That gets 1 back for us, and we get a lot of energy as well. And now we just gotta attack twice with Face Xiao. That should give me the ultimate with Ashveil. And again, what happens with Ashveil with the ultimate is that, well, we got 10 gluttony now, right? We're gonna consume 8 of them for 2 extra instances of damage. Now we have every bit of buffs possible and debuffs, defense reduction, everything. Ladies and gentlemen, Ashveil for version 4. This is the damage output. 100k into 500,000, into more damage, into more follow-up attacks, into his own follow-up attacks, into an ultimate. And if this enemy survives, we're gonna go with another follow-up attack, right? Ban, does he survive? Yep, he survives. We have another ultimate to end it right there. That, ladies and gents, is the power of Ashveil. So yeah, we've pretty much broke down his entire kit. Notice how it's ridiculously simple, right? And all you need to do is really to go to town to like the bait. That's how he gains energy. That's how he does damage. It's just really simple. The synergy between him and just a follow attack team or a team with a lot of instance of attack is really good because, you know, we get Aureus stack. We get so many energy by attacking the bait board because we're going to attack once, get 8 energy, get attack again, get another 8 energy. Anyone who has an ultimate is going to trigger Triby's follow-up attack, all of which is extra energy. Bam, Face Xiao as well getting energy, so that's a follow-up again, getting more energy for Ashveil. We have our ult just like that. It is one of the most like high tempo teams I've ever played. I mean, and we just did 1 million damage there. Holy moly. On top of that, 600k. So that is basically Ashveil. You do hear a lot of people say, oh, it's a definite skip, he's just not worth pulling. It doesn't mean he's terrible, right? Look at this, like 200k every follow-up attack, and every ultimate you could see like 500, 600k easily. Obviously this boss, if you break his war armor thingy, you do way more damage. So in any case though, I mean, it's still a lot of damage there. And that's another 200k off of Triby's follow-up, and we've just used all of the follow-up. We need to get his ult again, and with this team it's gonna happen in no time. Now the final thing to note is, why is Ashveil so good being used in this team, right? You have to notice this as well. First Fang, while Ashveil's on the field, crit damage dealt by ally target increased by 40, and crit damage by follow-up attack will increase by an additional 80%. So Ashveil himself, just by staying on field and having a bait on, you'll have 40 30% defense reduction for enemies, and you have 80%. Actually, not 80. It's 120 total, right? It's additionally increased by 80. So everyone gets like 120 total increase for crit damage when they do follow-up attacks. Yeah, it's on freaking Phase Yell as well. So all of that constitutes to like just a bunch of damage increase for Phase Yell. She's actually really viable in version 4, at least with the help of Ashveil against this boss, right? All right, anyways, we got Ashveil again. I do have speed boot on him. It's actually 1 speed below the speed threshold. I would love 134, but I just couldn't get it. But I do have damage to stand, so we are still above the threshold overall. I think we're okay with that. We'll get attacked a little bit here, and then yeah, we should be okay though. Can we get the 0 cycle? Not quite yet. At least with this team with a sustained, we're probably not going to be able to get the 0 cycle. But without a sustained, this is what like is unique about Ashveil as well. He can be fit in quite an aggressive team setups too, considering first of all he's cheap to use in terms of skill points, right? And look at that, the amount of attacks he does just means that if you time things well, you could burst down an enemy perfectly, and then you'll get like a 0 cycle clear. It's possible, just not exactly possible with this setup specifically. And I do think numerically though, you still need some Eidolons with Ashveil specifically. You don't even need his Lightcone. It's kind of just his E2. His E2 is really good. But now we got Phase Yell to damage you. We have one final follow-up with Ashveil. It's like an infinite follow-up chain with this entire team here. Now that we're out of follow-up attacks on Ashveil, we just gotta get that energy back again. And guess what? We have this team that's best fit for that job. We got Tribby going on crazily, and we got just everybody, right? Everybody's firing on every cylinder. So bam, we get 8 energy again. Let's save Phase Yell's ult. I think that's what I want to do, because you know you got 6% left. Surely I can save it, right? I hope I could. Then we got Tribby. We're gonna use our skill point, and we have so much surplus that it shouldn't be an issue. We're gonna use an E right here, right into our ultimate. I think we will be able to kill this. If I were to choose between Ashveil or Phase Yell's ult, they actually both do quite a bit of damage, but I think I'd rather use his ult here. It's a shame, like I'm wasting 700k damage here. I would love for it to happen on like the second phase, but oh well, too late now. All right, now we've got follow-up attack here. This is what I want to attempt as well. Before the boss actually like absorb our entire, you know, souls, I would love to be able to break the war armor here. We got 5 stacks left. I'm not sure if I can. I think there's a chance. I'm gonna use it anyway though. We're gonna do this. It's gonna take a lot less damage, right? Because the war armor is still on, but this will activate the follow-up attack here and then trigger Tribby's follow-up attack, which triggers Ashveil again. I think we break war armor now. No, I did not. Gosh darn it. Somehow I can't do math. I think I did 4 hits and it needed 5. So if I timed my ults better, maybe I could have gotten it. I mean, it's not that big of a deal though. Let's just continue. Here we got Phase Yell. You know the drill now. We attack the bait until there's no tomorrow. We use our ult. Oh shit, I should have used the ult here. Dude, I'm misplaying like crazy. I should have saved my ult when the war armor breaks, but well, it's too late now again, dude. I am misplaying so much. But the thing is, we're still gonna like wipe the floor with this guy for sure. All right, now in a couple of more turns, we should be able to get our energy up for Ashveil already. Actually, you know what? This is the power of the speed boot here. Be able to be faster. I cut the boss right now. I get my ultimate that way, right? So with my ultimate right now, we get our follow-up attack again. So this is what I mean by Ashveil is pretty good with timing. If you are able to like, you know, focus down all his burst damage and follow-up attacks all in one go. Because right now, you know, it was 1 action win for the boss. We suddenly did like 700k with the ultimate. And now we have all of our ults going with Tribby. And the ult's going to trigger the follow-up attack. And then another ult comes in. It's going to trigger another follow-up. And this will trigger Ashveil into Tribby. Tribby triggering Ashveil back again. All 3. Gosh darn, follow-up attacks is gone in no time. We just destroyed the boss. We're gonna actually go for, I guess, the ult first. So this ult will do a lot of damage first of all. This should do a mill, I think. Bam, almost a mill. And then we get another follow-up attack. All of this will trigger Phase Yell's follow-up into more energy for Ashveil in the end. So now we got our skill again. Let's go ahead and use 1 into another. That's 16 energy total. The Soul Dragon attacks. That's another bit of energy. And it's a shame because I would love to be able to use the ult right here. But well, no can do. However, though, all we need from here is just 1 more good ult usage from everybody, and I think I have it. You know what? That's a good attack on Ashveil. We have our freaking damage, our ult right here. So with this is like probably going to be 2 Phase Yell ults. I probably have enough attacks to do 2 more Phase Yell ults. Look at the amount of gosh darn follow-up attacks. I can't even play the game. The game plays itself. All right, attack this, and I follow-up attack into the Aura stack into the Phase Yell ultimate, man. My general, our general. Somehow she's just back in version 4 now. And bam, it is not doing enough damage though. If anything, I feel like Ashveil with his ultimate does more than a freaking Phase Yell. Let's not live on 1, huh? 4%? Oh no. Oh no. Can I get Tribby's ult to happen at all? Oh, there we go. But yeah, 28 cycles truly does explain the abilities of Ashveil in today's meta, right? That is like the general, 0+1 normal investment for a character. But if you could get like E2 though, I'd rather you get E2 than getting the Lightcone itself. This gets him way more damage on the ultimate, and yeah, you just get Gluttony back. It's always good. And that was the best follow-up attack team, I think, in the game currently, right? It's essentially the VIDS team, but then you get rid of Robin for Tribby because you actually value Tribby's follow-up attack that triggers Ashveil. Can you use Robin though? Absolutely, you could as well. I personally still love Tribby more, especially with E1. Mine doesn't have it though, so with E1 it gets even crazier. And then for Ashveil, he's actually taking the spot out of Topaz and Numby from before for Facial or Moza, right? This is the Moza slot, the sub DPS support slot. So Ashveil plays that pretty well here. Now I will say there's a lot of generic comps. I'm not sure I'm gonna make the video yet, but yeah, generic comp like this, just pure DPS Ashveil and attack boot, this actually is almost as fast, if not faster than the Facial team. And then there's also a team setup like this where it's a one-shot setup. The only way to prevent death for that team is by killing the enemy, and if you could do that, it's valuable, dude. So with that said, in terms of a conclusion, is Ashveil worth pulling? I already made a video on Ashveil, whether or not he's worth pulling. I think generally people are saying it's obviously a skip because there's crazy Evanesia and Silverwolf coming in. That does make sense, but I will also say this: if you like Ashveil, if you just think you want him to tuck you good night and you wish he were real, feel free to get him. He's not weak by no means. He's just not meta defining, right? And that's okay in my opinion. There's a lot of ways to use him, which is always a nice thing, as long as you make sure your entire team has a healthy amount of follow-up attacks. Because you see with his talent, yeah, you get a lot of, with first Spanx Event, you get a lot of crit damage for follow-up attacks, but you still get 40% for anyone, and then you still get the bait effect, which does provide 40% defense reduction worldwide. The point being, he's actually very generally usable as long as you can make sure your team has a healthy amount of attacks. It doesn't even need to be follow-up, it just needs to be attacks. Stuff like even Castrus could work. If you run like a Tribby Hyacinth at the side, that could work as well. Like Orsai really works as well. But regardless though, I should be making a video on every single one of them, so do follow the channel for that. And yeah, we got a lot more content coming in. It's everything Honkai Sharo, and yeah, if you're a fan of that, give me a follow, I suppose. That'll be all. Take care.